Yo, what's up, everyone? So I got this YouTube channel. I've had it for about a year. Started out pretty strong and, kind of tapered off. I'm trying to get back to it. And before I get started with my Endgame review, I've had a few people ask me, why are you starting a YouTube channel? And it's pretty simple. We spend hours upon hours upon hours talking about sports and politics and religion and societal issues and movies and all that good stuff. And I figure, why not take whatever it is I got to say, put it somewhere to where I could just go back and look at it whenever somebody new wants to talk about it, I can say, hey, go check out this video, see what I got to say, then come back, come holler at me so I don't have to repeat myself, 50 billion times or whatnot. That's pretty much it. And, obviously there's the financial aspect out of it. If I could make a few dollars out of it, then, who wouldn't do that? But I want to keep this short. I want to keep it, no more than 6 or 7 minutes. So I'm going to get right into this. And first off, I never really saw myself as being somebody who would have a camera in front of them, doing movie reviews and whatever else this channel might end up getting until I find my niche. But hey, here I am. So, getting the Endgame. I watched Endgame over the weekend, and it's Monday right now, but I'm not going to post this until Thursday because it would have been a week, and hopefully everybody would have been able to see it who really wanted to see it. And I don't want to accidentally say something, somebody see this, they get upset, now they're coming for me, and, I got worried about catching the fade. So, even though I'm recording this on Monday, I'm going to wait until Thursday to post this, and you guys come back and let me know. But in regards to Endgame, first off, just want to say congratulations to MCU. You guys have had a historic 10, 11-year run with blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster. After so many flops, you guys finally figured it out. And with that being said, I want to give a nod to Wesley Snipes and everybody who was a part of the Blade franchise, because without Blade, we're not talking about Infinity right now. And we may possibly be talking about it at some point, but when you go back and look at history, Blade is what started all of this. And it's funny because Blade wasn't even predicted to have the success that it did. And even though it's considered a cult classic, I believe they tripled their gross. I think they only had about $40 or $50 million that they used to produce the film, and ended up grossing maybe $150 million. I don't know, those numbers might not be right, but anyway, big ups to Marvel, big ups to West Snipes. Without you guys, Marvel definitely isn't here right now. But anyway, get to the movie. So I went and watched the movie, and if Endgame was a standalone movie without a decade worth of build-up, without 20-plus movies, and without all of our childhood experiences attached to it through reading comics and through watching the other cartoons, I think this is easily a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. Everybody loves this movie. But with all of that considered, I give this movie I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10. And I know that reduces down to a 4 out of 5, and I really don't agree with the 4 out of 5, but I don't want to be too much of a critic here, okay? And by me saying that, I know I just pissed off about 75 to 80% of those that have been invested in this movie or this franchise in some way, but I'm okay with that. I'm completely fine with that. And the biggest reason for my criticism was how they just so willy-nilly jump back and forth in the time. And I understand that they explained in the movie, hey, well, what's your logic here when it comes to jumping back and forth in time? Are you using the Back to the Future logic or what? And when I think they threw that out there to cover themselves, to just go willy-nilly back and forth in the time and whatnot. And essentially they just made the rules up as they went. And the part where Hulk was talking, was back in the past, and he was trying to get the time stone, and I can't even think of the lady's name. It's I'm drawing a blank right now, and she explained that by taking away the time stone, you create a new alternate reality. And then Hulk goes, well, if I bring it back to this exact moment, that alternate reality that was created gets erased. And I get it. Depending on which logic, which train of thought you want to use, I get it. It's easy to accept that. But I just couldn't accept that, because if a new reality is created and then you come back and you erase that reality, then everybody and everything that was created with that reality is completely gone. So you basically just Thanos while trying to un-Thanos Thanos. You know what I'm saying? So, but I come more so from the train of thought that even if you go back in the time and replace the time stone, replace the other stones, you're going to create another reality in which you went back and done so. And then the same thing with Cap, how he goes back and he stays back in time and he lives his life out and all that good stuff. And I get it. That's where he naturally was from. That's what he wanted to be, the love of his life and all that good stuff. But there's no way that you go back into time and live his life the way that he did and everything remains unchanged. I don't care what theory you use. I don't see that happening in any theory. Now, granted, none of us will be able to see that, but just conventional wisdom tells me that no matter what theory you use, that's just not happening. But the only other thing about the movie, I know everybody was a little geeked about it being 3 hours and they was worried about how it was going to end up being. And honestly, I didn't feel like the movie was 3 hours long. I left the movies thinking that we had another hour and a half before things really got jumping, because the fight scene happened literally dead in the middle of the movie. And once it happened, it was like, okay, they warmed up now. They done got stretched. And I know Thanos got dusted and everything, but I felt like, okay, they just warmed up. We got another fight battle coming up. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Now, I'm not going to say how the movie ended, but for those of you that have seen it, you know how the movie ended. And it got me a little bit, not to the degree that it's gotten a lot of other people, because I've seen a few people say that they shed a few tears and all that. It didn't get me that far, but I definitely thought that it was dope the way that they wrote it up, especially with Iron Man not really being a fan favorite when it comes to the comics. So I don't know if it was intentional from Marvel to make Iron Man the iconic character that he ended up being, but I think it was dope that they wrote him off the way they did, because his core fan base, they really felt that. I didn't really feel it because I wasn't a big Iron Man fan as a kid growing up. Only thing I remember from Iron Man is that when the Avengers and everybody else needed something, they went to him because he had money and he was an arrogant asshole. That's all I really remember from Iron Man. I don't really remember him being that integral of a part of the Marvel Universe. And I know he had his own comics and all that good stuff, but he just wasn't that big. So whether that was intentional by Marvel or whether or not they saw what they could do with them and decided that, hey, we're going to expand on this, again, big ups to Marvel. It really sucked to see him go out like that, but it's a common movie. People die. But overall, I think the movie was great. I still think they missed the mark, but it was still a good movie. It served its purpose, and I'm definitely interested to see what Marvel does once they close out Phase 3. I think they're closing it out with Spider-Man, and then they're going to move into their Phase 4. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with their next phase. And I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment, share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys again, all right?